Hey, good morning everybody, or good afternoon when you're watching this. My name is Katie Vitez. I'm the guidance counselor at Ashby Elementary School, and over the summer and at the beginning of the school year, Rita and I worked together to develop a new tool for use by our entire student population and adult population as well. We developed a sensory track based on the size of the problem, which is a whole school language that we're now using to determine how big of a problem you have at a current moment and what you can do to solve that. So we're trying to put a lot of the responsibility back on the kids to solve their own problems, use their thinking, and the tools that we're giving them. And so what we found was one of the things that the kids would need are breaks from class. Not just a brain or body break within class, but to step out of their area and kind of reset and come back. So we spent some time talking about what the kids needed specifically and came up with a sensory track, which is what we're going to lead you through now. So the beginning of our track starts here with identifying what the size of the problem currently is. The kids have been trained how to identify their problems ranging from tiny up to huge, and then corresponding things that they can do, the emotions that might go along with them. And if they're in any kind of problem, starting from green up to orange, which would be tiny to big, that's where they're really taking care of themselves, maybe asking an adult for help. Once they get into the red or into a huge problem, that's where an adult would step in and help them. So we start by identifying where we are here in the track and following the colored dots around the track that go from red, orange, yellow, blue, and down to green at the end. And the hope is that by the time they get through the track, maybe their huge problem has worked its way back down to green. So we can start walking along here. Along the track, we've developed a series of 6 brain and body breaks alternating. And they're designed to get kids, or the adults using the track, back to a place where they can come back to class and be productive, or back to work and be productive. So our first stop is a brain break. It's a thinking break. So what is my difficulty? And these change every month, at the beginning of the month, the brain and the body breaks. So for this month, for October, we want the kids to focus on their difficulties, and hopefully by thinking about them, maybe realizing some self-accommodations or some solutions to their problems. So we really want to get the kids to stop and think, and it kind of throws them off a little bit this month. Why are things so difficult for me? We have them come back along, and you'll notice that our color dots are about to change. They fall off very easily here. And as we get down to our next stop, we have a body break. And this is designed to help them get some energy out. So this first activity for the brain break usually requires a little bit more energy, jumping jacks or jumping up and down. And we have them do that 10 times. So we've stopped them, we've got their brain working, and now we're getting some energy out. As we continue down the track, you'll see that our color is about to change again to yellow. So during this time, as has been explained to the kids when they come down, the way to use the track to get the most out of it is to do some breathing while they're doing it, thinking about things as they go. So now we're on to our second brain break, and this is kind of a distraction station. So they may still be kind of upset or having difficulty in this yellow realm, and so by throwing them off a little bit with what's your favorite joke, or think of something silly, or for this month, what is your favorite book? Why do you like it? We're kind of refocusing that brain energy into something that's not related to the issue that they're currently having. Then we continue down our track following the dots, and we get to our next body break. Here, like the last brain break, we want to kind of distract, slow the energy down, and so our next body break station is yoga, holding for 10 seconds. This can be a little challenging for some of the kids, but we ask them to try their best. And again, slowing the heart rate down, bringing that energy back down, and starting to refocus. So our dots are going to change again in color. Here we are in the small problem dot color, and working our way to our last brain break, which is right up here. This month we want to talk about 2 tools that can help students or adults feel better. So now that we've kind of identified the problem and figured out kind of what we need to do, how are we going to do it? So tools might include taking a walk or using the sensory track, doing some deep breathing, using a stress ball, asking a friend for help, counting to 10 using sign language. We want the kids to be able to identify what helps them and how they can serve themselves. Heading down into our last color, we're going to hit our last body break. So here we switch to green and... Hi.
There's somebody out in the front who's waiting for us.
To our last body break, and we're in the green. So we're hoping that by the time they finish this track, that their problems will be back down to a tiny level. So our last body break station, we use the stepper here, and this is to bring back some good energy. We don't want the kids crazy when they go back to class, but a good way to bring up some good energy and get the heart going again, being productive. So once they finish this body break here, we come to the end of our track and ask them again to identify what is the problem, the size of your problem, but now. And they identify where they are and their directions within each color. So if they're still feeling really ramped up and they're in that red, the directions say to take another lap. And we have some kids that go through and of course they just walk through and they don't pay attention to the brain or body breaks, and that's fine because it's still providing them with a break. If they're in orange, they're having kind of a big problem, they can take another lap as well. If they're in yellow, they can take some breaks and get ready to take some breaths, and get ready to go back to class. And then blue or green, we figure at that time they should be ready to go back to class, do some breathing or some other tools, but they should be ready to go. Of course, again, this is available to any staff or student in the building at any time. And thus far, we've had some great feedback. Kids have said that this has really helped them. The teachers have reported that kids come back ready to learn, a little bit more focused, and so we are enjoying the successes that this has brought and hoping to expand this in the near future. Thank you.